Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. I thought I'd take you on my walk this morning. I'm just having a quick walk before I jump in with a client call soon. Such a gorgeous morning here, and there's a beautiful sunrise, and I'm just walking down to the beach. So I wanted to take you guys with me so you can share in that. But today's topic, I wanted to do a live video on good morning, great to have you guys on. Hey Christy, I think it is. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on either. So I wanted to do a video on being super sensitive. I've really uncovered and unraveled some kind of really fascinating things around health lately, certainly around adrenal fatigue, but also with copper toxicity. And obviously, you know, in our personal nature, I've certainly been somebody that's been very, very sensitive to energy over the years. Hey guys, lovely to have you on. I've been very, very sensitive to my environment, to other people's emotions, to chemicals. You know, if anybody's got strong perfumes on or anything like that, my body's been very sensitive to different medications and lots of different things over the years. And it's really, I think it's really, really important to actually check in with yourself around this. One of the biggest things that I've really noticed or that I've just discovered about is this copper toxicity. And I actually think it's a hell of a lot more prevalent than what a lot of people are aware of, and explains so many chronic health conditions that perhaps people haven't been able to find answers around. And the challenge is that it actually can be quite hidden in the way that it actually presents in the body, because with copper toxicity, it's actually stored in the it's actually stored in the tissues, and what actually happens, it becomes very unavailable because copper is actually needed within the body and part of the processes, but it actually becomes very unavailable to the body because it's actually stored in the tissues. So on one hand, it's kind of the best analogy I've heard around it. It's like swimming in the ocean, but not being, but dying of thirst, basically. Basically, a lot of the symptoms to do with copper toxicity go into very much adrenal fatigue type issues as well. So this is oversensitive to your environment, having a racing mind, insomnia, not being able to sleep properly, also feeling like really reactive with people and situations, difficulty in emotionally regulating yourself, just feeling basically in a very wired but tired state. It can also, and it continues to facilitate adrenal fatigue for people as well, simply because basically copper is an excitatory chemical in the brain, so it keeps it in that racing mind state as well, which is really challenging if you're not aware of what's actually going on. Now, as the body's actually dumping or getting rid of copper, and what creates this ongoing issue then that further drives the challenges is that zinc and copper use each other to balance each other out. So as the copper toxicity gets higher and higher, zinc gets more and more depleted. And basically, hey Nick, great to have you on, honey, and good morning to everybody else that's jumped on. Hey Tals, great to have you on, darling. So with the like I was saying, with the zinc is actually a calming effect on the body. So when zinc gets depleted, then it's much more difficult for your body to feel calm, to feel relaxed, to feel like you can actually take time out to rest. You may feel like you've got to be always on the go, but eventually the adrenals get to that point where then it really does dive into greater adrenal fatigue and exhaustion, and lots of other things kind of going on there. Now, the reason why I'm specifically mentioning this is kind of an unknown for lots of people is, I'm just going to go in here because you guys will get to see the beach in a second, which would be really cool. is that a lot of birth control and contraceptive pills, and certainly copper IUDs, there's actually a big movement over in America. I've never had an IUD, that's probably too much information, but I don't know whether the ones in Australia are copper or whether they're made from titanium or something different, but there's been some very, very huge kind of studies done around the copper IUDs and have really, really impacted women in a very detrimental way. And often women that have a copper overload but are unaware of it, and then also go on either birth control or copper IUDs, actually end up getting these crazy like symptoms. And I was speaking with a client the other day actually, and she went on a she's had a lot of IBS type issues and things like that, and when copper is dumping from the body, basically it creates huge amounts of anxiety, depression, teary, crying for no reason, a lot of digestive issues. There's all sorts of stuff that can kind of go with this as well, so it can really make it like really quite challenging. I'm just going to turn this around so you guys can actually see what I'm looking at here, which is the beach, and the sun is rising just around the corner, but I don't think I've got time to walk around there unfortunately this morning, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the view because it's gorgeous. So with the copper toxicity and the copper dumping, it really can be very much a bit of a roller coaster ride as the zinc and the copper are kind of balancing themselves out, and as the body's actually purging the copper, a lot of these other symptoms can kind of show up as well, which are exactly what I described before: the racing mind, the digestive challenges, the fatigue, exhaustion, wired but tired feeling, and a lot of other adrenal type symptoms as well, which is really yeah, if you don't know what's actually going on, it can be really challenging in so many ways. You might think you're kind of losing your mind, or you might feel like, God, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I so sensitive, or why am I so overreactive? Like, I personally haven't been able to, handle alcohol very well for basically for forever. I always had very, very strong hangover type symptoms and things like that, and basically that's because there's a lot of copper overload that can hang out in the liver. It can also hang out in the brain and other places in the body as well. Hey Helen, great to have you on. Hey Beverly, lovely to see you on here as well. So just something to be really mindful of if you do feel that anything like this is kind of going on for you guys. Really important to seek some assistance around this, because it can lead to a lot of emotional challenges as well, and can really lead us to feeling, like I said, very, very super sensitive to our environment. And there's a couple of other different factors like pyrols and other things that I've just kind of really recently found out about that just resonated so strongly for me with adrenal type symptoms and things like that. And I tend to be somebody that is very highly driven and highly motivated, and tends to be like a bit of an overachiever, or likes to be an overachiever, and really kind of pushing things to the limits. And I think for anybody that resonates with that type of personality type as well, it's really important to get these things addressed, because certainly as we move into 30s, 40s, 50s, this is where you can kind of get away a little bit with that in your younger years, but certainly as we're moving into middle age, and certainly perimenopause for any women, you really want to get that stuff sorted and looked at, because otherwise, the hormones, when the hormones are quite low, you'll be feeling all sorts of things like, and fibromyalgia and things like that have also had links with copper toxicity. There's a lot of chronic illnesses actually, in fact, that have been very heavily linked with this as well. So really, really important to obviously get all of that checked out. Now, if you go get normal blood tests, your blood does an amazing job. Your body actually does an incredible job of keeping your blood in a homeostatic state, because that's what it actually needs to survive. It can only shift in microns for acidity and alkalinity, so the body will do whatever it needs to keep the blood as stable as possible. Therefore, if you're getting blood tests, it may not show up in the blood bloods, and often when there is copper toxicity, it will actually show up as low copper in the blood. And so again, it can be very, very confusing to try and navigate this path if you're not fully aware of it, yeah, haven't kind of done a lot of investigation for yourself around this. We really need to step into being an advocate for ourselves when it comes to seeking the answers. And if you know that I think one of the most frustrating things at present time, and this is not, you know, dissing Western medicine, if I cut my leg open, I'm definitely going to go get stitches. Like, there's no two ways about that, but really important in terms of really discerning, you know, if you're not getting the answers that you need, keep searching, keep looking, and certainly do some checks yourself. Feel free to reach out and have a conversation with me. I'm very, very passionate about this area in particular. A huge good morning to everybody that's jumping on here as well. Hey Alexandra, lovely to have you on, honey. And Chrissy, lovely to see you on here, darling. And who else we got? Emma, good morning guys. Hey Ricky, lovely to see you on. I've got to hold the phone back. Hey Tennille, lovely to have you on here as well. So huge good morning to everybody. If you are feeling really challenged in this area, like, it is going to impact like your emotions, your relationships. Like, when we become super sensitive or hypersensitive, certainly, like, I know for me, I can't tolerate, like I was saying, any strong perfumes or smells like that. It literally makes me feel very sick. So we become very chemically sensitive when there's lots of this stuff kind of going on. And I've done a lot of work from the physical aspect, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual side of connecting and linking all of the things together that have us feeling amazing within our body. And there's nothing better than that full freedom of feeling incredible in your own body, waking up feeling excited, bouncing out of bed every day, and feeling confident in who you are, and feeling lovable and worthy and deserving of everything that you're wanting to create in your life as well. So if this really resonates with you, and you're like, oh my god, like, I feel like I've had a whole bunch of stuff going on and nobody really knows kind of what's going on there, send me a PM. Let's have a chat and see kind of if and how I might be able to help you, or at least point you in the right direction with things. Have an amazing day, guys. I'll just give you one more like little view of that ocean. Well, did highlights there. It's just absolutely stunning. Have an awesome day. Loads of love. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.